is on the factors that affect climate, in this case, elevation. But as we learn about elevation, we will also be learning about the characteristics of an air mass. So let's get started. If you can imagine the whole white screen you are looking at is one giant air mass, we are on our way. This line represents the ground. The vertical line represents the elevation in the air mass. If you were to slice through this air mass horizontally, the temperatures would remain the same. That is to say that if the temperatures were 10 degrees Celsius one place, they would be 10 degrees Celsius in another place of the same elevation. Hence the rule when it comes to air masses is that temperatures remain the same horizontally at the same elevation. Now, let's take this same air mass and look at it vertically. Again, the line will represent the ground and the vertical axis will represent elevation. This time, however, the elevation rises at intervals of 100 meters. If you were to take an air mass and cut it vertically, then the temperatures would drop 1 degree Celsius for every 100 meters you would go up in elevation. For example, if it is 5 degrees Celsius at 400 meters, then it would be 4 degrees Celsius at 500 meters and 6 degrees Celsius at 300 meters. So the rule is simple. For every 100 meters, the temperature decreases by 1 degree Celsius. Okay, so let's do a little test. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause the video, so you need to be prepared to do this. In front of you is an air mass. The vertical line represents the ground, and the horizontal line represents elevations by interval of 100 meters. If the temperature of the air mass at point A is 10 degrees Celsius, what is the temperature at B, C, D, E, and F? Now, this is the time you should pause this video and think about your answer. Once you have the answers, turn the video back on. I will wait 10 seconds to find the pause for you to find the pause button before moving on. Okay, so here are the answers. B is 6 degrees Celsius. Why? Because for every 100 meters you increase in elevation, temperatures decrease by 1 degree. In this case, B is 400 meters higher than point A. Point C is 8 degrees Celsius, and D is also 8 degrees Celsius. Why? This is because D is horizontally on the same plane as C. Point E is 12 degrees, and F is 13 degrees. Okay, so you think you understand this? Great. Now let's do a slightly harder test to see if you really get it. But before we do, you need to know one slight other rule. That is, air masses can never, ever, don't do it, they cannot mix. Okay, looking at this air mass again, this is the ground, this is elevation increasing at 100-meter intervals. Now, all these numbers represents the temperature within the various air masses in this diagram. And here is your challenge. You need to find the various air masses based on elevation and temperature. Again, you will need to pause this video so that you can think about the answer. Again, I will let you have 10 seconds before I move on. When you have the answer, unpause to see if you were right. Okay, find that pause. Good luck. So, here is the answer. There are only 2 air masses, and they are separated by this black line. How do I know this to be the answer? Because horizontally, the temperatures remain the same at the same elevation. That is true until you come to the black line in this air mass. Further, vertical temperatures increase by 10 degrees for every 100 meters down in elevation. When air masses collide, it is known as a front. Notice that the temperatures on the left side of the front are warmer than the right side. This would be considered a warm air mass, and the other side a cold air mass in comparison with the warmer air on the left. Now, if we go back to our lesson on air masses, you will recall that North America has 6 prominent air masses. 2 of the air masses, the continental tropic and the maritime tropical, often collide into each other as they head our way. Now remember the rule, air masses cannot mix. They try to, but they cannot. As a result, when they collide, there can be violent reactions in the form of tornadoes. The result is that there are tons of tornadoes each year in this area, and it has become known as Tornado Alley. Unfortunately, southern Ontario is at the northern end of this alley. So remember this simple rule about elevation and climate. When you increase in elevation, temperatures decrease by 10 degrees Celsius for every 100 meters. Well, that's it for this video, but don't forget to check out other videos related to the factors that affect climate. They are latitude, ocean currents, air masses, relief, and near water. Hope you're having a great day. Bye for now.